Hey, Marcus. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on facing the White Sox, since they're the team you came up with. And certainly nobody, I think, was really thinking in the last week or two that they were the obvious first-round opponent for you guys.
Yeah, I think, we've been watching everybody. We've seen a lot of highlights of those guys. They have great numbers. Obviously Anderson and Abreu are carrying that team. They brought in some new young guys like Robert. They added some pitching, so they're going for it this year. I know a lot of those guys over there, and primarily the same coaching staff besides the manager. And it's going to be a battle, but it's nice to be at home. I think we played them well at home in the past, so I know it's a tough place. Even though there's no crowd, I just feel like it's a tough place for an opponent to come into, so we'll try and use that to our advantage.
Does that add any extra edge for you and maybe Chris Bassett, since you both originally came from that organization?
It's been so long since we got traded, so maybe if it was 2015 or 16, like shortly after the trade, maybe. But I just feel like it's the postseason, so of course there's an edge to beat whoever we're facing. But that was so long ago that I don't think it's crossing my mind as much.
Shayna?
You faced Lucas Giolito last year. What do you remember about facing him that you can maybe take into the upcoming series?
Well, he's a bona fide ace. I think when he first came up to the big leagues, he struggled a little bit, and then the next year he came back, made some adjustments, and he's got a really quick delivery and a very slow changeup. So he throws a fastball that gets on you, and he has a plus changeup. He's become a bona fide ace, and it should be a tough challenge for us. But we just need to do our homework today and put together good at bats and make them work hard.
Hannah?
Hey, Marcus. Let me turn my video on because I feel like that's rude. Hi. This is a very broad question, which is just you're about to head into a postseason where 16 teams face off in a 3-game wild card. How do you feel about this structure versus sort of what MLB's done before, and what do you think they should do going forward?
Yeah, I don't really know. With the 60-game season, you see some records that you're like, wow, that they made the playoffs, but I think that they just wanted more baseball this year. They tried to give the fans more baseball, and it gives teams an opportunity that you may not have, thought of, would be there. We played good baseball. We had a 9-game winning streak early, and I feel like we just carried that, used that cushion the whole season. We didn't play great towards the end, but we played good enough to get a 2 seed. You look at the White Sox are the 7 seed, and they're only like a game behind us. So it's just a weird setup. But it's all about who gets hot right now. We didn't play well at the end, but if we get hot now, it's our series win.
Thanks.
Ann?
Hey, Marcus. I'm curious. You said, it's a weird season. Is there a sense of relief to finally be here, to have gotten through the 60 games? Obviously, the goal was to get to a postseason right from the start when they were trying to figure out how to do this. Is there kind of a sense of relief to navigate all the stuff you guys had to, the coronavirus, the smoke, the social protests, everything to actually get here?
Yeah, I think the smoke might still be here, but
That's true.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams feel like they're just getting going. It's only 60 games, so that's not even half of a full season. So for us, it's like, okay, we haven't played the White Sox yet, but that's how it would go in a regular 162-game season. You play 60 full games, and all of a sudden you play the White Sox. It just happens to be playoffs now, and we're still going to play our game, and we're not going to change anything necessarily. We want to do, fix some of the things that we've been struggling with, but we don't want to put any extra pressure on ourselves. We just want to play our game, and it is a 3-game series, so it's a little different than last year for us, and also in 18 where it's just one game and you want to be so perfect and win that game. We just want to play our game, and it's a 3-game series. We're at home and play good baseball.
Curtis?
Morning, Marcus. I know you're not thinking contract right now, but is it your hope that you and the A's could after the season's over, maybe just talk about a possible extension?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Of course you want to know where you're going to be next year, but the main goal, especially everybody in this clubhouse, is to win the World Series. Anything after that will be handled after that. So it's hard to sit there and say, oh, I want an extension right now when we're all focused on winning a World Series. And, we'll see what happens. This is home for me. I've said it before. I love playing here. I came up. I think I came up here. I played 6 years in the major leagues here. I was drafted by the White Sox, but I've been here. I'm able to be with my family pretty much every day that we're at home, and I get to sleep in my own bed. But I haven't thought about what the numbers or what extension or this and that are because nobody knows yet.
Manolo?
Good morning, Marcus. In a very short series, you guys have the experience that you played the last couple of years in the wild card game. That was only one game. This is 3 games. But it seems like the A's have a huge advantage in that sense over the White Sox, that you guys have already been there and they have not. How much do you think the experience factor is going to favor the A's going into this series?
Yeah, it's just so different without fans. The playoffs are sold out. There's just an added pressure with the sold out crowd, and every pitch seems like it's you throw one strike, you strike out, and you hear the crowd just kind of sigh, or you get a base hit and the place is going nuts. We're not going to have that this year, but what we do have is we're comfortable in our stadium. We played well in our stadium. We have been in the playoffs in this stadium last year, regardless of crowd or not. But it's going to be different. I think it's going to feel more like the regular season than the postseason because there's no crowd. And once we get out there tomorrow, it's going to be an early game. It's just we don't really know what to expect without a sold out crowd here. But we just want to focus on playing good baseball.
Vince? Antonio?
Marcus, you got me now?
Yeah.
Marcus, can you just go through what the season was like? We only see it from this. We weren't with the club. None of us traveled. We don't know what the real experience was like, day in and day out, protocols and change in routines and everything, and how mentally stressful that was, and how the club was able to get through that. How did the club?
Yeah, I think I got you. Initially it was different. Guys weren't used to getting to the ballpark as late, as we have been this year. And then you go out there and play a game, and it's no crowd. It's just kind of that crowd noise, the white noise, whatever it is. So we made some adjustments. We kind of asked the production crew to play some music for us in between innings, stuff we like, just to keep us engaged, because it naturally, it's just a little bit more dead. But as we went along, I think we got used to it. Everybody found a routine that works for them, with the time that we were allotted to prepare for the game. And, you look at all of our numbers, they weren't necessarily, they don't jump off the page at you, but we're still winning games. We're winning the close games. I think our bullpen and starting pitching was, our backbone, and, they'll continue to be. So this year was different. I feel like it was so short. I feel like we're just getting going, but it is what it is.
We got 3 more minutes. We'll go with Martin.
Hey, Marcus. Since you guys got Tommy Lastella, it seems like he kind of was a spark plug there at the top of the lineup for you guys. How important is a guy like that in the postseason, especially being a low strikeout guy and a guy who kind of could just make things happen, in one way or another?
Yeah, you look at our team in the beginning of the year, I think Olsen and Gross, we didn't have a lot of lefties. And I know that I think that's good for Olsen too, just because he can talk with another left-handed hitter on, all right, what's this guy doing to you? How should I attack this guy? if Matt Olson asked me how I'm attacking a guy, it's probably going to be different, just because I'm a right-handed hitter. So that was one thing. And then you look at just Tommy's discipline, his work ethic, his routine, and I think it rubs off on everybody. He brought a lot of good stuff to us, especially playing with, you know, guys like Mike Trout, Rendon, Pujols, Ohtani. He's played with some good hitters. He has some knowledge, and he's a tough out. You know, I found myself hitting second behind him and just watching his at bats, and he kind of made that pitcher work a lot. And I could go up there, and you know, they made more mistakes to me. So I think that he's a great addition.
Got time for one more, Matt.
Hey, Marcus. Just wondering what your sort of impressions are of the White Sox pitching staff overall, and given the quick turnaround, how much studying you actually do of like an opposing staff, particularly the bullpen and some of the relievers you might face. And also just really quickly, your thoughts on a 12 o'clock start. That's a fairly early and unusual time slot for a home game.
Yeah, I think the White Sox have a deep bullpen. They've got Colomé throwing the ball well. We faced him in the past. I faced him going back to the minor leagues. He was with Tampa, but see the young lefty they brought up who just got drafted. You know, they got Bummer back. I'm sure I'm missing some guys. Seems like everybody throws 95 plus. And if they don't, they're doing something where they're sinking it or cutting it or, you know, tough timing, whatever it is. But they're well balanced. You know, they've got a great staff. They've made some additions that, you know, you look at Dallas Keuchel, nobody's talking about that guy. He's doing well too. But we're going to prepare the same way we always have. I watch video. I look at percentages. I try and, you know, study everything I can. And of course, when you get in the game, you just go compete. But you want to know everything they've been doing all year. And then, sorry about the early start. We just did it yesterday. So, you know, in the playoffs, times are going to be weird. I think I'd rather play the 12 o'clock game than the, you know, 4:30 or 5 o'clock start, because the shadows can kind of be tough with that start. So just got to get our sleep tonight and wake up with some energy.
Thank you, Marcus.
All right.